All right. Hello and welcome to the Spinnin Backfist MMA show for Tuesday, July 26th. It is post UFC London recap, whatever you want to call it. I'm back from London, still jet lagged, to be honest, still a little bit all over the place time wise, because we were there for like the perfect amount of time where you sort of get used to it, right, ready for the time you leave. But it went perfectly for Barstool, I would say.
Literally perfect.
Like if we wrote it up, that's how we would have wanted it to go. Obviously, Paddy, Molly getting their wins. Tom Aspinall in the main event did not get a big result like he did last time. Crowd kind of got sent home in a weird mood, but I feel like Paddy and Molly brought them up enough to where, you know, everyone went home happy.
They really, I mean, think about like the dud kind of a prelim. They saved the day.
They
Like
really
things
did.
were really not going well.
I think
really
8
at
prelim
all.
fights. We had
The
one
fights
finish.
were not good. Like the prelim fights were not very good. Then even like opening like the Ozdemir Paul Craig fight was pretty boring.
So weird. That was a strange fight.
But that was, see, you know what? Like that was Ozdemir needed to do that though.
No,
Like,
no,
he
I
cracked,
didn't even think it was strange on his part. I thought it was more strange on Paul Craig's part.
He
And
got.
I understand him
too-
trying to grapple, but like the way he kept like falling down, I thought he had like a nerve thing in his leg for a second.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, he just like.
The second and third round was a little weird.
was
Third
weird.
round, it was like, is he getting hurt or is he just falling?
Yeah,
I was glad that it was a 30-27. I think it was 30-27 unanimous. It was at least
yeah,
two
it
of
was.
the judges for sure.
It was unanimous.
And I was like, because you can't like, and I'm a huge Paul Craig guy, but you can't just
Same.
just lay on your back every like 20
Especially
seconds. And just
the
win
face
round.
off, the walk around the octagon,
know.
not breaking eye contact, so intense. And then he's like, "I'm gonna pull guard."
The weird thing was that he didn't even look that bad on the feet.
No,
No, he didn't.
There was a
There was-
point in time. I
yeah.
believe it was in the beginning of the second round, maybe, or maybe it was the third.
Bisping said something so dumb during the fight. You probably didn't hear. Obviously, you didn't
No.
hear. He was like, Ozdemir or Paul Craig is outstriking Ozdemir right now. One of the best strikers we've seen in a long time, or in this division. And I was like, first of all, both those things aren't true.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Paul Craig
I
maybe
was
had a
dumb.
few minutes.
No
Like
time
He
where
had
the
like a
strikers-
minute stretch. I think it was the second round. Maybe it was the third, where he outstruck him for probably like a minute. Where I was like, oh, like Craig almost looks better right now. But then Ozdemir kind of just took over a bigger portion of the round.
Isn't it
but there was, like,
crazy
a
to
minute
think
where-
back to like he challenged DC for the title?
Yeah,
I was there for that fight.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone knew how it was going to go, but that's like crazy to think. And that was also the co-main event of
MSG.
Stipe. No, it was Boston actually. It was Stipe versus Ngannou 1.
You know, I think part of that too. I think that's why Ozdemir played it so safe in terms of, well, you could say safe, also just smart. Like there's just no reason to go into Paul Craig's guard. You're literally
yeah,
going where he wants you to go, where he's won his last like 3-4 fights. But I mean, a guy like Ozdemir, like he really hasn't won a fight in a while. So like someone like him,
Yeah.
he needed a win badly. He's like, I can win this on the feet. Why would I just jump into his guard and give him the opportunity? Where you saw literally the fight before, Krylov was beating the shit out of him,
yeah.
and then just stumbles his way into getting triangle choke.
Which is like, you know, the Paul Craig way.
Yeah, that's like
That's
he's
just how he wins
losing until
fights.
he's not.
Yeah. And then Molly, second fight on the card. Great walkout. Everyone booing for Hannah Goldie. Dave said after the fight, he said, I actually felt bad for Hannah Goldie. I was like, why? Fuck her. She's on the other side. He's like, nah, Molly really beat the shit out of her. I was like, well,
Yeah, she did.
I mean, that's the
Yeah.
business we're in here. But
I mean,
pretty amazing.
she even like there was probably that minute and a half, 2 minute span where Goldie just had her against the fence,
Trying to go for the
trying to go
takedown.
for the takedown. And Molly's takedown defense was not the most impressive part of the fight, but a very
Very
impressive.
good.
The second one where she caught her got the one leg, and then Molly
Caught her on the elbow.
Yeah, that was really. And Molly's boxing before the knockout looked so good. She comes in and out so quickly, and obviously Hannah Goldie was somebody that is not like she doesn't have the reach advantage on Molly, so it's a little bit of it was easier for her. But her boxing is getting like she's
Her
really
overhand
improving.
right kept landing.
Yeah, it kept landing, and it was just boom, boom, boom. And then the way she just pushed her into the perfect spot to do the spinning elbow was just. Also, did you know at the time how bad Herb Dean stoppage are?
No.
Like
So
he let her
that's
die.
That's another thing. Like,
He let her
She
die.
literally was like face down in the mat. And
yeah, it was like right in front of.
She woke her up. I think Molly woke her up.
Oh,
I think she
she
did
might
too.
have. Yeah, it was like right in front of me and Spider where it was. So if this is like the octagon, it's on this side of us, but it was kind of like blocked by when she dropped. It was blocked by the padding. So we were like looking like, oh my God, what's going on? What's going on? And we couldn't tell. Like Herb like did his little shuffle where he like hopped in, hopped out. And I was like, should I stop it? Oh no. All right, I'm gonna stop
But
it.
Hannah Goldie, like,
Crazy.
she fell on her face.
Yeah, no, she fell straight down. I can't believe she hit the elbow again. Dave was saying all week, he's like, Molly's going to throw 3,000 spinning elbows, and it might be your downfall in the fight because he's like, every time I see her, she's like shadow boxing and ends it with a spinning
She's
elbow.
like,
You know, she
even when
loves
we
it.
were in here.
Yeah.
She was spinning elbow. Like I think
spinning
she's spinning
everywhere.
elbow.
She was stoked that they put it in the
Jack.
video game. She's like, they got me elbow in the game. Like she was fired up about it. And then she just bulldozed her way to Dave. She said all week she was going to jump into Dave's arms. He was worried about the shoulder.
She had to break through security. I don't know if you're able to see that.
They like
there was one.
pinned
There
her.
was like two, and the one guy kind of just like, all right, whatever, and the other guy was legitimately trying to stop her.
Yeah, no.
And she just
An
was not
army
having
couldn't
it.
have stopped Molly
like,
from
no
getting
way.
to Dave.
That
No
moment.
You
way.
could see even in the video, she's like looking for him like a dog, like, where is he? Where is he? And then she jumps.
That's
and
awesome.
Hank had a great quote too, like the noise that Dave makes. It's like, oh.
that was like everything outside of it.
The
Obviously,
place went insane. Like it was so fucking loud in that arena. It was so cool to see.
So, all right. So I have two things. One, just the moment of like not even like remove everything that Molly's been for Barstool since she signed on, even before that. Just the moment of her jumping to Dave's arms is worth however much.
Oh my
money we
God,
paid
yeah.
her.
And them going like, is that Portnoy? It is. They're like,
Oh,
the
and
hat's
then-
probably 4 rows back right now.
And then Gooden
Yeah.
kept calling us Barstools.
Yeah, yeah.
It was pretty funny. But I mean, he's a British guy.
I
Like,
saw one of the YouTube comments said like he founded the chair.
yeah. But the all right, so I was thinking about it yesterday. I think Meatball Molly to a widespread sports audience, maybe top 15 known MMA fighter in the world,
fighters?
male or female.
I mean, after this weekend, Drake putting her on the story
The
and
Rock.
everything. The Rock quote
The
tweeting her. The
Meatbo.
people's
Stormzy.
meatbo.
The people's
Stormzy. Yeah, her picking him up in the locker room. We were just talking about that. Him going, oh my days, and like Paddy having to catch him. I mean, the two of them, yeah. And that's the thing. It's like the two of them are such a good package deal. And they said it in the post-fight presser. They're like, we're a package. We're fighting together. It would be foolish of them to separate them on cards.
For sure. And I honestly, it was just one of those things where like she just had such a perfect like highlight reel, like all-time knockout. Because even I had my dad watching it. He doesn't watch like a ton of MMA or anything. And I was like, because he was even asking me like what I bet. I was like, oh, I just put a parlay of her and Paddy. I was like, I even said I was like knockouts plus 400. I was like, it would be tough for her to get like it'd be just ridiculous for her to get another crazy knockout like that. And then like bang,
Yeah.
first round, like another spinning back elbow into just like bang, 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 like out cold. Just to like follow up like an encore like that with another encore-esque performance was just out of this world.
It's like she said in
You
the
couldn't
post fight.
script it. Like, you
She was
can't,
like, have you ever seen lightning strike twice?
literally,
Now
that
you
was
have.
it. That was
Yeah.
it. Literally, like she made lightning strike twice. Unbelievable.
Also, and I know people will try to discredit and be like, oh, she was fighting Hannah Goldie. But the pressure that was on
Oh my
Meatball
God,
Molly there was immense.
Especially
Because-
like we were saying, like the card was underwhelming to that point. They
Yeah.
know that.
She gave this like that was the first thing you to really cheer for the entire card, like
Yep.
a big cheer.
And
Yeah.
and think about it, like Paddy's had this hype. Molly, before that spinning back fist elbow, spinning elbow last fight against Luana Carolina, like she was known. She was like, oh, the Liverpool.
Yeah.
She roots
People
for
loved the
Everton.
nickname.
People loved her nickname. She was like a part of UFC, but then she became like
Now she's like a superstar.
a superstar, and it was like this is her first fight as a superstar, and it's against someone who's not as good as her. She probably knew that.
Yep.
And she told us that right away.
She
when
was a big
told us-
favorite.
Yep.
Yeah, but and then and that pressure is immense. And she came out there and she kind of did it like the last time too. The way she walked out, so calm,
Yep.
and just went out there. And,
Reminded me of Katie Taylor,
yeah,
who she
And-
supports, obviously.
and I think she and I think she wants to fight at MSG like Katie, but Paddy doesn't because of the taxes.
Paddy doesn't want to fight because of the taxes. He was saying that.
I think that was a big brain play by him. Though.
No, I was legit. My counter that was going to be like, now Dana might throw a few more
pay him a little more,
make
up for the taxes. I mean, that
it makes all the sense.
November, it's perfect timing,
and the fact that Molly already said like she wants to 100%. It just makes too much sense.
Also, she called out Antonina too.
That's a great fight for her too. I think that's a great.
She was super honest in the post fight. She was sloshed, absolutely shit faced in her post fight presser. It was so funny, and she was just like, she's like, "Who's the best in the world?" Valentina. And I think everyone looked at each other like, "What's happening right now?" And she was like, "I'm not ready for Valentina, but Antonina, I think I might be ready for Antonina." She said, "We were like, oh yeah."
I think that legitimately was like the perfect call out with like the name. And she's like, people know her like she's good, but I think Molly could definitely beat her.
Definitely.
It'd be an interesting fight.
She had Miranda Maverick call her out, and Molly told her, I'll fuck you anywhere you want to be fucked. And then Paddy was like, wait. And she was like, not in a gay way. Oh, look, Spider's in the chat.
Yo, Spider.
Hey.
Where is he?
Shout out Daniel Diorio.
Spider, if you're in the office, you could come into the pod room.
Daniel Diorio, a young kid.
Oh, yeah. Spider, if you're in the come in.
Yeah, I mean, Spider was there.
We have another mic.
Spider's first UFC ever, so
that's awesome.
It was a unique
Cage side UFC
and Spider's been a UFC fan for a long time. Like when we were in college, we would watch together.
Yeah.
So he's someone it's not like who just showed up.
He knew a bunch of the. I mean, like Alexander Gustafsson came out and he was like, "Holy shit, we're watching Gus fight." It's like he knew,
and that was tough.
I mean, yeah, that was tough.
That was one. A lot of people were given DC. I don't know if you saw DC.
I saw his tweet.
Fight. A lot of people were giving him shit. I understand why people get upset by it. I also
it's very blunt, right?
It was Spider's doing laundry.
Oh, all right. Sorry, Spider.
We'll see you in a minute.
Blow up your spot.
But just I saw both sides where I think like
I see both sides.
He was just being honest, and I think for like Kryla like hit him with especially I watched it back again. I mean the punch that he knocked him out with, Gustafsson literally was holding one of his legs up, throwing an uppercut with only the base of one leg and just slept him.
Yeah.
To where he put him down. He's literally bouncing like the follow-up shots. He's literally bouncing his head off the canvas.
Even the first shot that dropped him
wasn't
so
even that
brutally
crazy,
too.
Yeah.
And it was
like 10, 15 seconds in the fight, I think. To get hit that badly by a guy like Krylov, who's not even known for his striking.
And you know what's got to suck is Monday morning when he's got to go get the loss tattoo. You know, he's got his record tattooed on his arm. Every single fight he gets a triangle. And if he wins the fight, he fills the triangle in. If he loses the fight, he just leaves it blank.
Maybe
so just sitting there for the chair is just like.
See, it's cool to do that when you're at like 18-2.
I know.
Then when you're like 18-7,
it's like
18-8.
It's tough.
I lost
the John Jones fight.
It's a lot of empty triangles at the end.
How about this? The John Jones fight, he got half a triangle because he believes he won that fight.
All right,
interesting.
I mean, that's fine.
He's like, it's a halfway victory.
It was close, very close.
But Gus, it was sad.
Real sad. Yeah, he's got to hang it up. I mean, he's got to hang it up again.
Yeah.
It's tough when you come back from retirement.
He looked like in decent shape, like walking into the ring. I was like, oh, he looks pretty good. And then I was big on Krylov going into that fight, but I didn't think it would look like that.
No.
I thought it would be like,
I thought it'd be pretty competitive.
Yeah.
I actually thought Gus might like sneak out a win.
Yeah. I wouldn't have been shocked. I mean, he was minus 190. I thought that was fair. And he looked, I mean, legitimately minus 1,000.
Yeah. I was.
Molly looked minus 1,000.
Yeah. She looked minus $1 billion. Yeah, I was big on Krylov, but yeah, I definitely didn't think it was going to be him just knocking him out on the feet inside of a minute.
Yeah, and then we had Paddy the Baddy. I said right before his walkout, I was like, I really hope they give him the main event lights when they do the blackout and everything. And of course, they gave it to him. He was the only one on the card aside from the main event that got it. The walkout was electric. Dave walking Paddy and Molly both out in his London outfit was great.
Yeah, it was awesome.
The bow tie he was wearing, the like Union Jack bow tie. I'm sure he'll say all this on the Dave Portnoy show, but the guy didn't want to sell that to him. Like they went to get the suit in London, and the guy was like, "You got to wear a white bow tie because it's like a sign of wealth." And Dave was like, "But I don't want to. I want to wear the Union Jack one." He's like, "I can't sell that to you." He's like, "But I'm buying that. You don't understand. I'm going to give you money, and you're going to give that to me." It was like a very funny exchange. He also had a cane. He bought a cane, but left it. We did like a pizza review right beforehand, and he left it at the pizza place.
Were you at the pizza review with the Tottenham players?
I was.
Oh, that's sick.
I met all of them. I met Harry Kane's wife, such a nice lady.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh, where are you from?" I said, "New Jersey." And she was like, "Oh, we just stayed like right near Liberty National Golf Park." And I was like, "Oh my God, I live like a mile from there."
Yeah,
So
they were over. Harry Kane was over here like a month ago, and
They were all super nice, actually. They were like
they had had a good crew of
they
guys.
were like
there.
very low key.
Eric Dyer's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Who was the one that said when Dave was like, "You guys never win anything"? He was like, "No."
Was it
In the
Holberg?
pink.
I think
The
it
one
was.
in the
I think
pink.
it was the guy in
Irish
the
guy.
middle.
It was the Irish guy.
Hoiberg.
They
Pierre
were all
Hoiberg.
very funny. They were all, and also it was interesting seeing like, I feel like if they were in America and stars to that level in America, they would have got mobbed. They didn't really get mobbed in England.
Interesting.
Like there were a couple people that came up and asked for pictures during the review, but that was like all of the people that came up and asked for pictures. Then they just got in their cars and drove away.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes. Harry Kane's like a worldwide superstar, but I guess maybe it was just cool.
It was funny too. Like Dave went in the Tottenham jersey, and the guy didn't want to give him the pizza. He's like, I can't give you that pizza while you're wearing that." And Dave was like, "Do you see who's behind me?" And it was Harry Kane. And he was like, "Oh my god, oh my god!" Like, immediately went crazy for him.
I love that Dave just did this subtle flex on him. That he was like, "I only know Harry Kane."
Yeah,
Like, I don't know. I don't know who
Yeah.
either of you
Yeah.
are.
But
They
Eric
thought that
Dyer
was
was the
funny.
one that has
I think he was the one who did the
They
video.
liked the
He did the
pizza
video,
reviews. They
the
were
pizza
saying
reviews.
they like got the whole team hooked on the pizza reviews.
That's
Crazy.
unreal.
Crazy. It was also funny when Dave was shown on the Jumbotron, like he did not get a pop at all at the O2. And
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
I had someone from the Sun next to me, and he was like, "I guess they don't know Barstool out here." It's so funny.
You should have been like
Damn,
you should have been like the Sun's fucking scum.
No. I actually like the guy, and we talked about it
Okay.
because I was like, "Do you know Paddy?" Because Paddy doesn't do interviews with them, obviously.
Yeah, he hates the Sun.
And I was like, I feel like Paddy would like you, but not your outlet. We talked about it, but yeah, he explained the whole history. It's fucking crazy what the Sun did.
Well, the Sun, yeah.
They
In
like
Liverpool.
tried to trash Liverpool.
I know,
the,
yeah.
the decline, all that.
But
yeah.
the Suns hated across the board too.
The scum, they call him.
The scum. Like I posted the Sun once on Troops' page, and that was the most mad he was ever
Oh,
to me.
yeah.
He was like, "You can't post
do
the
that.
Sun."
No, you can't post the Sun. But Paddy's fight, the first round, a little bit of adversity. Jordan Leavitt obviously pushed him up against the cage a little bit. He got his back for a second. I was a little bit worried about that. But Paddy ended the round in a very dominant position, got his back, started raining in some elbows on top. Paddy actually displayed some good grappling defense because Jordan is a very good grappler.
Yeah, had never been finished too. A lot of controversy about that first round.
I thought there was none.
Because
That was a
all
clear
of the-
10-9
all
Paddy.
of the
Because I remember I
judges
saw
scored for
Jack's
Paddy, right?
tweet.
People were so
And
mad
I
at me. I didn't really even realize people would be mad at me.
In
And
the
I saw
moment,
more-
I was thinking
Like
Paddy might
every
have done it. to
every
steal
single
it.
person under Jack's tweet was like, "What are you kidding me? Like you clearly lost." All three judges gave it to Paddy.
Yeah.
It was I saw even Aljamain. I just saw a clip on Instagram this morning when I was coming in. Like Aljamain talking about his podcast, kind of like a weird, because obviously it's like the damage versus control.
Yeah.
And then this one was a very interesting one to navigate because it was basically 3.5, 4 minutes of control-ish.
Yeah.
I'll call it like he didn't control him literally the entire 4 minutes, call it like 3.5 versus like a minute of control / some strikes.
Yeah.
Definitely did more damage because Leavitt did 0 damage, but
Maybe got in a
that
more
was kind of like a
dominant
very
position.
interesting.
You score that, like
Paddy also got on top at the end of the round.
yeah.
He did. He
Like-
was on his back and like beating his head.
Yeah.
But it was more. I understood. Like I could see both sides of it in the sense that he really only landed like maybe 5 or 6 punches.
I thought
I thought he could have won.
The
I
first-
thought it was like a coin flip because because Leavitt
I
did
kind of
nothing.
felt
He-
that way too,
he
and I was
did
like, in
absolutely
London,
nothing
they're going to give it to
besides
Paddy.
hold him against the cage and basically get a takedown where Paddy was able to get up relatively quickly.
Yeah.
Didn't get any ground and pound on Paddy. So I thought it was close. I didn't think it was like a guarantee either way. I thought it was like kind of a coin flip.
Agreed, and
I thought it was
that's
going to
what
be like
worried
2
me.
one way, 1 the other way.
When I was like, this isn't a guarantee, and then in the second round, maybe 2 minutes into it, when Jordan once again had Paddy up against the cage, it was like, don't fucking spend another round like this where we could have 2 rounds where it's like, how could you score that? But he didn't, and he was able to get like a great position, great knee that he said like hurt his knee afterwards. That was he kept complaining
That
about
was a
how his knee
massive.
hurt.
You saw like Leavitt's body just folded.
And it was a smart
And he
knee
was
too, knowing
oh,
that he
yeah.
was up, knowing
Mhm.
when he
Yep.
was up for that not to be illegal, strikes him down, slaps on the choke, trapped his arm in the body triangle.
That was
which is real
huge.
crafty.
that was what made the rear naked choke almost a guarantee.
for sure.
you
'Cause
could
he
only
had a
defend
lot of
that
time to work.
You
too.
can only defend that so long
he
with
had like
one arm.
4 minutes to work,
With
right?
one arm, that's
he
like
had like
that's
maybe
impossible.
like just under 3 to work with the rear naked choke.
So looking at the stats from the first round, Paddy ended up outstriking. This is on UFCstats.com, so the official stats. Paddy ended up outstriking Jordan, but Jordan was 7 for 8 on significant strikes, and he landed more from distance. Paddy was 1 for 8 from distance, but it seemed like in the first few minutes he was piecing up a little, but maybe he must have just missed them. 4 of Paddy's 10 strikes in the first round were on the ground at the end, I assume. So, I mean, I gave it to Paddy, but it was like if I saw that people gave it to Levitt on the cards, I wouldn't have been like, "Oh, that's ridiculous."
No, I would have got it.
But I think UFC MMA judging as a whole is getting away from giving, like in a close round, they're going away from giving like control against the fence control, where you just kind of hold someone there for a little bit, because Levitt just kind of held him there, and I don't know, but whatever, it doesn't even matter.
Got him down for a second, but Paddy got right back up.
Yeah, and we were saying that before on the preview, Ev, I, and Lee, and I was saying that, hey, I think like if Levitt gets Paddy down, he'll just get right back up.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, Jordan could have gotten in a really advantageous situation. It could have been bad, but he didn't. I think Paddy may low-key have one of the best walkouts in UFC right now.
Oh, absolutely.
That song's unreal.
The whole crowd going crazy for it. I was like, it's a bittersweet him saying it's probably going to be his last fight at the O2, because you'll never get that energy from like an American crowd, I feel like.
And the O2,
unless everyone flies over.
The O2's on top.
Yeah.
It's kind of on top of everybody.
It's a different energy, obviously, because just everybody's in his corner. But I think he'd get quite the pop at MSG.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
I think he'd get a huge pop.
I just mean the people singing it.
I think you'd get the I think you get an Paddy the Baddie from the
he'd get that.
And you get that.
It's a phenomenal walkout.
It's kind of McGregor.
Dave in like the shot of Dave like looking on in the wig. So funny. Him not jumping into Dave's arms was probably great for Dave's shoulder.
Fake jump and like just lean down like
right afterwards. I said to Dave when we went, because right after Paddy's fight, we went back. We watched the co-main event and main event backstage, and I said to Dave, I was like, "How's your shoulder?" He's like, "I may need to go to the hospital tomorrow." I was like, "Okay, yeah, that's what I figured." But Dave also, such a rich person thing. He said it was a shitty suit, but he just left it at the arena. He just changed into his jumpsuit, left the suit there. I was like, "Oh my God, Dave, that's unbelievable." I was like, "My one suit's from JCPenney. I lose that, I'm fucked."
And JCPenney, it's out of business, I think.
I guess if you're not gonna, when would you ever wear it again?
Yeah, no, true. It was a very.
And think someone like him, when you're rich, you just get sent so much shit.
Yeah.
Him bringing that back would just be like hoarding shit. Like, where's he gonna find?
It's like in his office or outside his office, it's just thousands upon thousands of dollars of just like rollback stuff.
And then the co-main event was weird. Right, because Chris Curtis was upset with Jack the Joker and was flipping him off, and then they started getting ratioed on Twitter after the fight, saying my opponent was running away from me. Sorry, I signed up for a fight, not a marathon.
Like a track meet. It was so strange because it like, all right, so Hermansson was definitely moving back and like keeping. It was kind of the classic. He was staying in like kickboxing range, and Curtis was in boxing range, and Hermansson's already taller and longer, so just. And he was using his kicks phenomenally well. He was striking really well.
He was ending.
I was shocked the way Curtis reacted to it, because he was this like the Cinderella story fan favorite. On Hawani,
Sweet Caroline walkout was great.
Yeah, it was great walkout. Talked about before before his first fight against Phil Hawes at the Garden in November. He literally was broke. Gets a knockout, like gets the show win, gets the $50,000 bonus. Got a bonus in a second fight too. Like he said, jumped like 3 tax brackets in a matter of months. Then gets another like a third win, and then all of a sudden comes here, takes it on short notice.
Gets a new contract.
Yeah, gets a new contract. Obviously, I would imagine a much bigger contract. Big fight, like I think 7th or 8th ranked guy in the division. Just to go and act like that after the fight. He was not running away. Like he hit you a bunch.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like he was like Floyd Mayweather.
I didn't think it was like a bad fight necessarily.
No, I didn't think it was that bad either. Like
there's weird because of the after stuff, but the fight itself was fine.
I thought Hermansson stayed incredibly active.
Yeah.
And even in the second round, he hurt him.
Yeah.
And had him up against the cage. And I think Curtis was doing a good job like keeping the like blocking his face with it when Hermansson was kind of raining those elbows from the top, and he was trying to come from
they were almost 12-6.
Yeah, coming from different angles trying to hit him. But I mean, I don't know how that can happen in the fight. You get outstruck by a ton, and say the guy ran the whole time. Like Curtis was moving forward, but it wasn't like Hermansson was just like running away and just like beating him, like say like strike, like landing like 5-6 strikes around. He was like really touching him up.
Yeah, it's very strange. And then they made up. So I guess bygones be bygones.
Curtis afterwards or on Twitter was like said like he always gets like this. Like he always is.
Well, that's
like,
not good.
That's
he
not
is
good.
always like this after
Someone take his phone away
fight.
from him after a fight.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
probably why he took so long to get signed.
Well, there's also a
Yeah, I saw. You can't just be like, I'm always a fucking
Also,
pain in the ass to
Hermanson
deal
won the
with.
first 12 minutes of the fight and then was like, okay, I don't want to get knocked out. I will say, though, Chris Curtis in a 5-round fight could be dangerous.
yeah.
He turns it on.
For sure.
Yeah.
No, he was going after it at the end. Hermanson was definitely Hermanson ran the last 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Sure.
he did, for sure.
But that's what you like.
he won the first 12.
Like you said, when you dominate the first 2 rounds and then win the first
It's
half of the
smart.
third round, why would you just stand in the pocket with a better
and
boxer?
Hermanson needed that win.
For sure.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
one of the, like
That's a strategy. Like why would you stand directly in front of a much better boxer than you?
Yeah.
Who hits harder?
Hermanson said after, too. He was like, legalize MMA in Norway. I
Yeah.
didn't realize it was illegal. Makes sense, though. It's kind of like how in New York City it wasn't allowed for a
True.
little bit. So I don't
He
know
was
if they'd
very
ever
cool
have
after
anything
the fight
there,
too.
but-
Like they were like right after the fight when he came back to the press room, someone asked him, "Oh, have you seen Chris Curtis like since he flipped you off?" And he was like, "No, I did not. I don't know what that was about, but I would love to run into him and say, hey man, what's going on?" You know, like, he was
Just
so
a very
like,
nice Nordic guy.
He was
yeah.
totally like he was not interested in the extra fight. He was just like, I'll make it okay. We'll
It
talk
was
about
super
it.
weird. Like
It's
like
strange, yeah.
in the fight, he just was like, "Fuck you."
It's like,
He's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
if you said, "Fuck me," you could have punched me in the face over the last 15 minutes.
I
Yeah.
know.
And then speaking of weird,
But
the
then
main
if
event-
Jorge Masvidal did that, everyone would have been like, "Oh, he's so
Oh, yeah.
cool, man, bro!" Like,
if
for
sure,
maybe
if
Chris
Nate
Curtis-
I
Diaz
would've
did that,
yeah, Chris Curtis.
Me.
Maybe Chris Curtis can run up on Jack Hermanson in a very popular steakhouse.
If Nate
and
does
punch
that
him.
to Hamzat, if
Me.
Nate like,
I'm
at
them.
the end of the Hamzat fight makes it through and flips him off, like
That's-
that'll be pretty badass.
This guy.
Shout out Chris Curtis, by the way. Follow Spinnin Backfist.
Yeah.
Oh,
What-
does he?
Yeah.
Also, did Jimmy Manua punch someone in the crowd?
Yes,
Yeah,
let's get to
Rakic.
that.
He Rakic.
Who,
Yeah.
who, if you recall, viciously knocked him out with a
Yeah.
high leg kick, like murdered him.
Why?
Yeah.
When? During one of the fights?
and then Rakic was like, "Yeah, he attacked me." After he was
He
like,
just, like,
he went
he
on-
sucker
and then
punched him.
He was like, "I need to talk to somebody about this because this was crazy."
What the fuck? In the crowd, this happened?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, apparently.
Did fans
I
not
thought
see it?
I thought it was backstage. It might have been.
Might have been. It
backstage.
could have been backstage. It's
All right.
possible. It was at somewhere at the arena at the fight.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's crazy.
Because he's from London. Man.
Yeah.
And Rakic has the bummed up knee right now. He must have been like, "What the fuck?" Dude?
Yeah, he tore his ACL like
Definitely,
yeah.
3 months ago.
Yeah.
And it was in March, I think it was.
Yeah.
Early
Speaking
March.
of knee
Fuck.
injuries, so
Yeah.
unfortunate. Yeah.
Tommy Aspinall, he had a great song all week. Fans were going crazy for him, by the way. Like embraced Tom Aspinall way more than they did in March. So
Yeah.
that definitely did a lot for him, but unfortunately hurt his knee in this fight, blew it out. Quiggs tweeted they had the worst wheelchair of all time for him.
I
know.
was
Put it-
thinking the same.
They put him in
literally-
like a
It was a
baby
little
toy.
chair. It was
That
a
was,
little
that was
green
like
chair.
World War II, like type Normandy.
I don't know what
Well,
they
in my
were
head-
thinking. The guy's 260
Yeah, we're like
pounds.
wheeling him
That's
off
what
the
That's what I was
battlefield.
thinking in my head. I was like, they did not do the math that this man's 6'5", 260 pounds.
No. He was
Something
such a
didn't
nice
add
guy,
up.
too. I met him for the first time earlier in the week. It was like right before everyone's going to weigh-ins, and Paddy was like, Robbie, come over here. Show him the Beatles tattoo. So I showed him the tattoo. He's like, oh, my God, mate, that's legendary. He was just such a nice guy. I was really rooting for him. And then it was a weird injury, too, because it was like, it
He
wasn't
just- I
an
think he just
Anderson
he just
Silva or
landed on it
anything. It
weird.
was like, yeah,
he just
kicked,
threw the
hit a
kick and
thigh.
landed back, and it's like but it was
It
weird.
was like
'cause
when he
even-
stepped back,
even
right?
when you
Kinda
watched
popped.
it, the knee didn't look like it. You didn't see the pop when a lot of times you do, but
Yeah.
clearly it.
He
did
looked like he was in
something.
crazy pain.
Oh, I mean,
T-Pain in the chat is something I saw this on Twitter that someone suggested it, and I was meaning to watch it. Dr. Brian Stutter
I've seen him before.
has a great video on the Aspinall injury if you're curious about the mechanism. It's kind of like those guys that'll be like after like a football player will get injured and they'll record it with their phone on the TV and they'll be like, yeah, this guy's out for the next 17 weeks or something.
Yeah.
Like the Dr. Football guy or whatever.
There's a good one for MMA that does a lot of videos like
I mean,
that.
anytime you
He's
see an
usually
injury like that where it's essentially non-contact, just planning it
Yeah.
and you just go down like that, never good.
The
right.
the shot of his corner was depressing because I
Yeah.
think his
It just
dad's in the
sucks,
corner,
man.
and I
It
think his
just
dad
sucks.
saw it and knew
He
it right
was just, like,
away.
immediately,
And
like,
he
fuck.
he didn't like react like on his face, but you could tell it was like his like heart dropped into his pit, and he's
Yeah.
just like, oh my god.
Just a super pro. I mean, he's gonna be back for sure. Just tough when you're right there. Like it was way too early in the fight to say what side was the side or like
Oh yeah,
or who was
Way
going to
too
win or
early,
anything like that.
So do you run it back? What do you do with these guys?
I don't think so. Not right
I mean,
now.
it's going to be too long for Aspinall, probably, right?
I think what Blades talked about in the post, and I agree with what Blades said, where he's at a point in his career where he's like, listen, it's nothing against Tom. He's just like, I'm not waiting.
Yeah.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I can't sit and wait.
Yeah.
He basically still like, I want the winner of Tuivasa gone.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Which I think is
Good
more
call
than
out.
fair.
Yeah.
Because he wanted that before.
Yeah.
I think the expectation was the winner of this fight would fight the winner of that fight, regardless. Probably it just makes sense.
Then he gets Ngannou, yeah.
And then
if he
the
wins.
winner of like that, and then like the kind of like the almost like the final four, if you will, would
Get-
fight for the actual belt.
Yeah.
Just tough.
It's weird. The heavyweight division is in a really weird place right now.
Even
Wait-
Stipe, what's Stipe doing?
Stipe and Jones, like Curtis, you could do like Blades versus Stipe if they're gonna do Ngannou versus.
That's what I was gonna
Jones.
say too. I just don't think he's that sexy, but you could do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I almost think Stipe's at a point where like he doesn't want to fight a Blades.
no.
Like he's so old. Like he's like so old now. It's that like he's probably like belt or like a John Jones.
yeah, he
Yeah.
wants a massive fight.
So you fight John Jones because it's a huge fight, even though there would be no belt.
Like
And you know, regardless if you win that fight, your next fight is 100% for the belt.
Yeah. Part of me thinks Stipe would take that fight, though. Part of me thinks he's
Blades,
like the,
he could.
one of those, like, I don't give a fuck guys.
He just he hasn't fought in a while. I mean that
Yeah.
his last fight was over. It
The
was
DC
it was
fight,
like
right? Like,
no
the Ngannou
well,
fight, I mean.
So it was last March, I believe that was.
Yeah.
he got flatlined.
Yeah. That's the other part that was tough too, because even if he wins, like say he fought a Blades and he won, or even if he beat John Jones would make it more sellable. But say he just beat Blades in one, selling Ngannou Stipe 3, excuse me,
He's easy as
is
fuck.
not the easiest thing. I think.
Oh, what?
You think selling
I think you could sell that.
Well, Stipe won the first one, and
I
then
know, but just
You could
just
still market Stipe as
the
the greatest heavyweight champ ever.
fashion that he beat him in the second fight. I thought because I remember watching that one, I was like, ooh, like there's no trilogy here.
that's
Like
fair.
I just think the levels that Francis has gained, like in his just like MMA all around, like from the first fight to the second fight, I just don't see how the fight doesn't go very just end in Stipe getting viciously flatlined again.
Yeah.
And I love Stipe, no disrespect.
like the stream, subscribe. We launched a Spinning Backfist channel, which will be dedicated to like clips and whatnot. So just search Spinning Backfist MMA show, and you can subscribe to that. All the shows will still be on My Mom's Basement, but we'll have clips on there, maybe like special videos or whatever. We'll see. But it was just good to start another page.
Oh, we were in Countdown. That was
Yeah.
Watch the
Awesome.
UFC 277 countdown. Go to like 16 minutes, I think it's
Yeah.
into the video, and you see this studio right here. You see
Yeah.
Juliana Pena come in. She's
Crazy.
Like, I've been doing some crazy media since I became champion. From Joe Rogan to Good Morning America to Barstool Sports. Those are the three.
And then
she
she's
named.
shaking my hand. It's like,
Yeah, yeah.
like there's levels to this. I'm at the bottom.
It's pretty crazy.
We were before Pivot.
Yeah, we were.
It was
Yeah.
us, then it was the Pivot.
And I don't even
podcast.
think they shouted them out. Like she didn't
No,
have
they
the
didn't.
over
No,
narration.
I told you,
They
it's
just put the
Joe
little thing.
Rogan, it's Good Morning America, it's Spinnin Backfist.
That was pretty
That's
cool.
what you think.
Yeah.
Also,
Any
I
thoughts
guess
on
for
Dana White's Contender Series? That's back tonight. We had we were just talking right before we went live. We had a guy miss weight by 10 pounds, weighed in at 146 for a bantamweight bout, and he
Did
was
you
like,
hear what he cut down from?
"Well, he said he
cut
already cut
36
36 pounds."
well, we were talking about it before we started recording. I thought there was miscommunication.
Yeah, that's what
When
Lee
he was
yesterday,
exactly
too.
146, I'm thinking, okay, he must have to be off by 10 pounds is crazy, and to be exactly on weight for featherweight, I was
That's
like,
a classic.
there
Like
must
you,
be a
you do
mistake.
a tiny piece of homework and you bring it into the teacher, and you're like, "I thought you assigned this. This one."
It's a shame because I was excited to see that fight, his opponent, because his brother is in the UFC, and you remember there was that great clip
It was
of him and
his-
Felder, and he was like, "Oh, did you hear about your brother?" And he was like, "No, I couldn't watch."
Yes.
And he was like, "Well, he knocked
He
him out. in
got the
second
win.
round."
Yeah.
and,
was
and then
his brother that's in the UFC now? Was he the one
he's undefeated.
Was he the one that the guy he fought in Contender Series said some racist shit to?
yeah, because it was
And then he
Oh,
fucked him up.
because it was
Fight.
Israel. I think it was
Israeli.
Israel against.
Palestine, was it?
Well, he's from
Or like-
London, but I think he's like has something. I think he has Palestine blood or something, and that was the big. It was
He
really
said some
racist.
super racist to him at the weigh-ins at like the face-off
Yes. Yeah.
weigh-in. And then he beat the
I
shit out
remember
of
that.
him. Like
I blocked
dominated him
that,
for 3
actually.
rounds, then finished him, I think, in the 3rd round.
He lives in London, but I think he's Palestinian.
Also, I guess someone asked too, what could happen with Till?
I don't know.
Man, I
knows?
have no idea.
Obviously, like I know Jack Mac's a big fan. I'm a fan as well. I love to
I
see him
like it.
fight.
I love
I heard
him,
he's
man.
not been training.
It's a shame. I mean, the co-main
a
event
shame.
would have been much bigger if it was him and not Curtis. No offense to Curtis. Obviously, Till is just like the fan favorite.
Yep.
He was Liverpool before Paddy came around.
Big
he was
time.
the Liverpool guy.
Till-
Sweet
just-
Caroline walkout. People went crazy for it. Yeah.
Till's the guy that I was obsessed with him, man. And then, yeah,
Blaze was too. That's like I feel like
know.
that might be part of the reason why Blaze like
It
got so
is,
into
it
Paddy.
is,
You
it
know.
is.
Yeah.
And shout out to Blaze. We've shouted him out
Oh,
a billion
the
times,
best.
but I mean, like he has a lot to do with Paddy's success too. Obviously, Paddy's Paddy, but Blaze is doing those YouTube and everything. And
The fight diaries
Molly
he put
and-
on Barstool, they're great.
yeah, Molly and Paddy love him too. He's incredibly easy to love. And talk about a massive MMA.
There was
fan.
a great clip today. He put on.
Yes.
his
I
story.
was
Did you
just
see
going
that?
to bring up.
I was gonna
Rant.
download that and
into the
put
mic.
it. I was gonna put it on
I
our
guess ranch
Twitter.
is an American thing.
Yeah, they were asked what's here.
Incredibly American thing Americans. What is an incredibly American thing Americans don't realise is American?
What's that sauce? Blaze is always like, oh, you don't have ranch
Ranch.
sauce, man. Where's the ranch? Where's the ranch? You don't have ranch sauce. What even is ranch sauce?
So they don't have ranch.
They need
over in
ranch is
London.
fucking fantastic.
Ranch. Yeah,
Oh,
ranch.
yeah.
I'm not a
Are you
huge
not a big
ranch
ranch guy,
guy.
Rob?
I'm not a huge. I could
Ranch
do it on a
sucks.
snack wrap.
Oh, ranch sucks.
So go over the pond.
The people that put it on pizza are crazy.
Oh,
that's-
no.
Yeah.
No, you're bugging.
That's crazy.
No,
People used to do that in school.
ranch is great on not
Wings?
good pizza.
I could do it on a snack wrap. No, not on wings.
Yes, it's the best on buffalo
No, I
wings. The
can't do
best.
it.
Yeah, it's
No,
unreal,
no.
right?
the best.
I'm
The
out on
absolute
that.
best. Buffalo and ranch. The combination of buffalo and ranch is,
No, buffalo's
peanut butter
enough.
and jelly.
Buffalo is so good.
but ranch makes it better.
Mm.
Do you have
It's like
any
peanut butter and jelly.
picks tonight?
The only one, I mean, I do like the Matt Sarah's kid Bazooka.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's a minus like 190, 200. So there's no like there's only one real pick'em line, and I wouldn't
It's the
feel
main event, right?
it's like I know I saw Lee put out it was like Joe Fire, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
I don't really have a feel on that one. I do like
the line
Bazooka.
movement of this stuff was unreal.
Yeah.
Alessandro Costa opened as like plus 170, and now he's minus 275.
I did a little research on that one just because of that movement. So the guy he's fighting is 12-0, but the records, I need to do like a little more like tape on it, but Costa's fought much better competition to get. He's like, I want to say 10-2 or something like that. And the competition he had fought was much better.
I was doing some,
Like even in the other guy, he was 12-0. His last fight, he fought a guy that was like 7-7, where Costa was like fighting guys that are like 11-2, like 10 and whatever, like 10-2.
I think Acosta Bazooka. Also, such a great name. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but Parlay is a good start. I think Dos Santos, like round 2, round 3 is a decent shot because I guess Turkagil's or he's also called like the Passion Man.
Oh yeah. I saw
That's
someone
his-
tweet about that.
Yeah, he's like, which is
Mm.
interesting. That's Anton. I think he's from Sweden, but I think his card is a little suspect. So if Dos Santos can get out of the first round, maybe you can find a round 2, round 3 prop. And then Lee's guy, Pfeiffer, he's what? You know him or something?
Yeah, so I like wrestled against him in high school, like open rooms and stuff like that.
That's cool.
Yeah, we went to like rival high schools, but like
Lee
it
was telling us
wasn't-
he fucked him up too.
Yeah,
I
He was
wasn't.
Like, he was like Lee was like, I messed this guy up so bad I could beat him to this day.
I did not say that.
he's heavyweight.
No, he's middleweight. He's a middleweight.
He's got smaller. Okay.
185er.
He's developed a decent striking game, right?
He's originally like a boxer. He's like
Oh, okay, yeah.
he's originally a boxer. Used to get like all his stuff by knockouts, and if he's like wrestling you, he's going for more ground and pound than really submissions. But then he transitioned his camp over to the Renzo Gracie Philly, which is like
Still undefeated?
still undefeated. You got like
Does this count?
No, I thought
Sean
somebody
Bra-
lost.
Sean Brady. No,
Oh.
No, Jeremiah Wells beat who did he beat?
Jeremiah Wells won. He beat the old
Do
dude.
we count this towards their undefeated record? It's not like a UFC fight, so it's
Fight doesn't go the
Yeah.
distance is up to minus 650 some places, minus 350
It's-
other places. This fight's I don't know if it gets out of the first second round.
I think Pfeiffer wrestles him. Honestly, I don't think Diaz's wrestling is all that good. Is a better grappling camp. I I'd probably put more on it if I didn't have such a bad week last week. But I really think that Piper's just going to go in and
Bad week on
and
London
wrestle
you
him.
had?
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, he almost reverse sweep. I was with him. He had a good spirit about it though. He didn't ruin the vibes in the. No, that's good. Like
Yeah,
if you're
yeah.
around a guy that ruins the vibes, it's the worst. And-
Especially for a Paddy Molly fight.
oh yeah. But Piper inside the distance is like plus 150, plus 175. I think that's
Not
a decent
bad.
shot.
Not bad at all.
Before we totally move on from UFC London, who do we think makes sense for Paddy next? I saw people saying
right.
Bobby Green,
I
Jim
saw
Miller.
Jim Miller. There's some
Big step up.
Yeah.
Jim Miller's been on a tear,
Yeah.
and Bobby Green looks
What-
very good. Obviously, he just had the
What about
knockout so far,
Nazareth?
but
Jared Gordon, we talked
Gord-
about him in the past. It
Gordon
seemed
would be
like
a
that
big
was
step
fight
up,
the
too.
UFC wanted to
all
make.
those guys.
It is 3 fights, 3 finishes.
Dan Hooker. No.
I saw people saying that, and I think that's a crazy step up. Like,
That's a
No, keep.
but they were saying like that gets Paddy right into the rankings.
But we don't need to rush this.
I agree.
Paddy's what, 27?
27.
Like, let's relax. Like
Yeah.
he can. Also, I've heard that it's not going to happen, but I think the move that Paddy needs to make is probably to America.
Well, yeah, I think he knows that. He said that.
He likes San Diego. That seems
Likes
to me
San
if he
Diego,
moved,
he
that would
likes
be the
Vegas.
spot.
All right, yeah.
I don't know about moving. Oh, you're saying moving full time.
Not full time, or at least.
I thought you meant his next
like-
fight.
oh, no,
his
like
next
a
fight,
gym.
he's saying will be in America.
Yeah, I'm saying Jim.
Yeah,
I don't think
he
it's going to
loves
happen.
next gen,
All right, so then I mean, what?
and I feel like Molly would want to maybe move too in that case. Maybe
I think they both have for the move, but they would both benefit from it.
I think they would, but I don't think they want to move out of Liverpool. They love that city so much.
Yeah, but Habib never wanted to move out of Dagestan.
True.
I
Maybe you
know.
do. Maybe you do like a
Like-
6 month thing.
Yeah, you could do both. I'm not saying like
Yeah.
don't have a residence.
This is what I was saying. It's like if you're because Paddy's going to definitely talk with Dana in the next like month, right? Somewhere in that like 2 weeks to 4 week range,
Yeah,
right?
we hope so.
About when he's fighting next, like a feeler for opponents, like there's going to be some talk, right?
Yeah.
In that like range of like 4 months, I think that 2 months should be dedicated in America somewhere at a bigger camp. That
Interesting.
you don't have to like cut weight or anything, but I think it would be important to like branch out a little bit, right? But
A lot of people say that about European fighters. Even people have said that about
People said
Connor's
that about
entire
Connor.
career.
I think a lot of people said if Connor came over here earlier, he would have. I mean, he went on one of the greatest runs in sports history, like in terms of just like fame and
Yeah.
obviously. But they think like he really
Say, like,
cemented
ATT
himself.
Connor. What would
Yeah,
he look like?
ATT Connor would have been like, yeah. But the thing is, it's like Paddy's probably one of Paddy's greatest traits is like how like he seems like a very happy guy.
Oh yeah.
And he seems like a guy that really likes like vibes and really
Even like the day before the fight, like we didn't know of the tragedy
Yeah.
stuff that happened with his friend. We didn't know about any of that. And he was still like, trying to entertain for all of us and trying to get a good venue that we could all go eat a pre-fight meal at.
yeah.
It's crazy. We didn't know any of that. We knew he was emotional because Baby Lee,
Yeah,
his
yeah.
supporter, like passed away and everything. And he was saying like, oh my God, I feel like I'm going to probably like cry my eyes out in my post-fight interview. He held it together. And that post-fight interview was like iconic. It's already like graffiti.
Literally
Did you
iconic.
see that? It was like someone did the whole quote. And
Yeah,
and
I
everything.
posted it. Yeah,
It was
this is
sick.
crazy.
I saw it, and the best way I saw it wrapped up was like this like fighter brawler did more for like men's mental health within
Right after a tea bag.
yeah right after a teabag
Yeah.
within a 1 minute time frame than like, and this isn't a shot at politicians, but it was just like more than any politician could.
That clip went super viral.
Literally
Everyone was posting
so
that.
viral.
Yeah.
I mean,
They took
Paddy's
over again.
Paddy gained like 450,000 Instagram followers.
And they
It's a-
fucking
it's a
banned
shame.
him on
his-
Twitter.
I was
Yeah.
gonna
Fuck
say it's a shame.
Twitter.
Twitter would have went nuts too.
he would
Yeah.
Twitter would have went so much more
Yeah.
nuts, I think, because that's where everyone's sharing.
You actually like broke the news in a weird way because like we didn't realize it until you texted me, and it was the screenshot like Patty's, or it was one of you guys, right? It was you, I think, in the group chat texted like Paddy suspended.
Oh yeah. No, I think I was on it like in a minute.
Yeah.
Like, because I was
his
trying to tag
check
him.
mark went away. His verified check went away at dinner. And he was like, "Where's me tick? Where's the tick? Where'd it go?" And then like, yeah, Lee texted, and I just texted it to Blaze, and I was like, "Man, they fucking got him right
Those
before the fight."
bastards.
And the reasoning was they said they didn't realize his account was him. Like they banned his old account and that was supposed to be a permanent ban from Twitter. So they just found out that the UFC baddie was Paddy the baddie, and they banned.
So they just banned from Twitter like
Yeah,
forever?
that's the rule of Twitter. Like if you get banned once, if
no
you
new accounts.
if you go again, you can't. If they find out you have a new account, you can't be on Twitter. It's against their rules.
He's expelled from Twitter.
And they can't really find it out. You can. There's ways
he got
around it.
verified though.
I know.
That's the fucked up
Yeah,
part.
that's
He
the
confirmed
crazy
his
part.
identity.
Yeah.
No. You're right.
It's fucked. They get free Paddy.
Dana's gonna have to talk.
He's got to have it. Didn't he have a talk with Jack recently? Didn't he tell that to us?
Yeah. No. Zuckerberg. He was
Zuckerberg,
with
yeah.
Zuck.
Maybe he's got to get a talk with Jack. Does he still run Twitter?
No.
They
Oh.
sold it, right?
Well, he's still on the board. He would have if he could talk with Jack. He would have influence.
Talk to Dan Twitter, whoever that guy is, and figure it out, Dana. I'll be speaking with Dana later today about London as well. So I'll get his thoughts on that because he didn't do. Has he done any interviews since London?
I
No.
don't think so.
No. I
I'll
haven't
get his
seen
thoughts
any.
on all
I
the
can't
fights
think.
there.
I can't think of one.
Yeah, I'll kind of do like a post-fight presser.
Call Elon.
I don't think Elon's into.
Oh,
it
I
anymore
did see
either.
Alex Hernandez versus Paddy. Maybe in a year or two.
I think Alex Hernandez is going to 45. So
Makayev was calling out Paddy.
Everyone's
That was
calling
crazy.
that bad. Everyone wants.
Well,
But
he wasn't calling him out. He was
Like
just like
Lita?
talking shit about him.
But Makayev, I've heard like
Yeah,
his
Makayev
all-
hates him.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
no,
Makayev
I
is all
guess it
smiles. Makayev is all smiles to Paddy behind the stage though. He like comes up to him, he shakes his hands and stuff.
No, was he? I feel
That's
like
what I
they
heard
don't like
from-
I
from
thought they didn't
Blaze.
like each other.
Makayev too. It's
well, because
like,
I guess it
They had
was
Twitter beef.
I guess Makayev
Yeah.
said that Paddy had talked shit to him, being like, "Why are you repping the like UK
The
flag?
flag.
yeah.
You're not from here," kind of thing.
I saw
I guess
the
it was
tweet.
years
Paddy
ago.
has the tweets. Paddy has the tweets where it's like the like anti-immigration tweets, and then Makayev is the guy is obviously an immigrant to England, so it would make sense why they don't like each
Yeah,
other.
I don't think they like each other. I think Makayev's opponent, Paddy gave a wig to, and he wore a wig on stage, didn't he?
Charles Johnson,
Yes.
Makayev, by the way, he's good, man.
Yeah.
That kid is.
He's something else.
Yeah, and tell you,
He's 21, dude.
Yeah,
Who we forgot to mention, Nathaniel Wood.
Yeah, he was great.
yeah, great performance.
He's
Moving
Rose
up
He's
too.
gonna get smoked eventually. Yeah.
Well, he did lead with his chin a lot.
He's at 45, man. Some of those 45s are huge. Like imagine like Sungwoo Choi, like Sungwoo Choi is like 5'11", like built to the max going against Nathaniel Wood.
Yeah, I mean, Rosa just had no striking.
Yeah,
He just has no like.
Rose is the worst 45er. Like I'm sorry, Charles Rosa, but you-
Spider loved him all week.
Yeah,
he was
he
walking
legit.
past Spider in like the hotel lobby, and Spider would just be like, "Let's go, Rosa. Let's fucking go. You got him, Rosa. You got this, Charles."
Pride of Peabody.
So Spider
He
was
went to
so
high, he
funny
went to
with
high
all the
school with
fighters.
my two initial roommates in college.
Oh, really?
Pretty sure the same grade or maybe a grade apart.
That's
Unreal.
crazy.
So they knew him like his whole life.
Spider was funny. You tell you what, Spider was more excited to meet Tiny, the security guard from the UFC, than any of the fighters.
The big
He
Oh,
ran
the
up to him
big,
at the bar.
tall-
Yeah, ran up to him. And was like, "It's an honor to meet you, sir." Like, did the whole thing. I was excited to meet Oliveira. Like, there's not many fighters that'll
Two
go up to
Bronx,
him and be
baby.
like, "Can I grab a
Two
picture?"
Bronx.
Yeah.
But I saw him in the lobby. I was wearing the security shirt, and he was wearing like a cool suit. And I was like, "This would just make for a funny picture to look back on in 10 years."
That's
Be
an
like,
awesome
"Yeah, that's
photo.
back when I was doing security for the champ."
the champ, yeah.
But yeah, I just went up to him. I was like, "Can I get a picture?" He was like, "Yeah. Got a picture." Did you see Sean O'Malley's quote about having a panic attack on stage?
No.
He had a panic attack during the press conference. He said he felt hot flashes and thought he was going to pass out on stage.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's
Crazy,
crazy.
but
That's
I get it.
interesting.
Traveling
Honestly,
international, you know.
Honestly, I think it was because the jacket was a little too hot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
might have been.
Was
I
it
saw
the,
him earlier in the week too. He said, "Hey,
was it the first time has he like suffered from panic attacks in the past, or was it just a one-time
I
thing?
don't know." He didn't describe it as a panic attack. But
Oh,
like,
okay.
Everyone in the comments were like, "Dude, you just described a panic attack." Like, that's-
Gotcha.
And like having experienced them myself, I agree. It sounds like that to me.
Sean and Paddy though too. at
I
the
know.
end.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
Patty was like stoked about that.
That's a great clip
Yeah.
too.
Patty really liked Sean, so he was like thrilled that Sean
Sean's-
also liked
I
him.
Sean's awesome.
would love to see Paddy at like a 4-week camp over with Sean O'Malley.
With O'Malley. and
Yeah.
they could be MMA's
Uh,
newest duo.
Imagine that. Like
Them smoking pot together, like in
They
a
literally
camp.
right now they literally are the two young like golden boys.
Yeah.
They really are.
pretty
That's
much
what
the
I was
same
thinking
age.
too. Like, do they like each other? Because also Sean is like
It would help.
every criticism Paddy's getting right now. Like he's gone through.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
Yeah.
every
heard
single
that.
time they talk about Paddy, they're like, he's getting the Sean
Yeah,
Sean
yeah, yeah,
treatment.
Yeah,
Blah blah blah.
I could see how they could relate in that way. Hopefully they come back. They both said they want to do before the end of the year. So hopefully we get that 3 Paddy Molly fights in 1
We got to
year.
be careful though. We can't let Nelk steal Paddy from us.
No, we can't let that happen. Were they there? No.
No, they're in Croatia with Andrew Tate. right
Oh
now.
yeah, I heard about that. Dave mentioned that. Crazy. All right, I think we're short on time. Thank you to everyone for tuning in.
Thank you.
100 viewers
Like
at
the
the end of the
stream.
show. I love that.
3
Make
digits.
sure you give us
Let's
a
go.
like
Like,
at the bottom to
subscribe.
support the show, subscribe, and all of that. We'll be back on Thursday to talk about this weekend's card. See you then.